Have you ever been in a conversation and suddenly worried that you've been talking for too long, or wondered if the other person is secretly hoping you'll wrap it up? I used to be so worried about this that sometimes I avoided talking to people altogether. But here's the thing, you don't have to guess. People are constantly giving off small signals that tell you exactly how engaged they are. When you learn to spot them, conversations become way less stressful. Here at Social Self, we call this the engagement gauge. It's like having a social traffic light in your head that tells you whether to keep going or to wrap things up. And the best part is that you're not reading their minds or making assumptions, you're noticing what their body is already telling you. So let me break this down into two simple categories: green lights and yellow lights. First, let's talk about the signs that someone is engaged or want to continue the conversation. So they lean in, even if it's just slightly. When someone tilts their body toward you, your brain is saying, I'm interested in this. They point their feet toward you. This sounds weird, but our feet often points where we want to go. If the feet is aimed at you, they're not planning their escape. I've been in thousands of conversations, and this is an incredibly clear sign. I didn't even think that this could be a reliable indicator at first, but then I started noticing my own feet when I wanted to leave, and they were always pointing away. So looking at people's feet makes me feel like I have this superpower of reading their minds. Or they make consistent eye contact. They're looking at you while you talk, not scanning the room or checking their phone every few seconds. They ask questions back. This is huge. If someone asks you a follow-up question, they're actively participating. They want to know more. So when you see these green lights, you can relax. The conversation is going well. Now let's talk about the signals that someone might be ready to end the conversation. The body angles away. Maybe they start to lean back or turn their shoulders toward the door. Their body is preparing to leave. This is a very strong sign they want to leave. Their feet is pointing away. If they suddenly point toward the desk, the door, and away anywhere but you, their brain is thinking about the next thing they need to do. Or their eyes wander. They might glance at their phone, their computer screen, or the clock. Their attention is shifting. And by the way, if someone starts looking at their phone when you talk to them, always go quiet. Just immediately stop mid-sentence and you say, I'll let you finish. Not only is this respectful of you, it also gives you respect because you're showing that you're not accepting that someone is on their phone when you talk to them. Okay, they give short answers. If your questions are suddenly getting responses like, yeah, sure, their mind is probably somewhere else. Here's what is important. When you see a yellow light or maybe two yellow lights, it's important to gracefully wrap up the conversation. The only difference is if they're taking a step away from you, always wrap up. And this isn't rejection. It's you being socially aware. Now, you might be thinking, well, what if I'm just being paranoid? Maybe they're just having a busy day. And you know what? You're probably right. That's the key thing to understand here. The engagement gauge is not about figuring out if someone likes you. It's about being considerate of their time. Think about it, 99% of the time, those yellow lights have nothing to do with you personally. They're thinking about a deadline or an email they forgot to send, or they just need the coffee, or maybe they just need to rest their brain from a lot of interaction. By noticing these signals and politely ending the conversation, you're not being rejected, you're being respectful. And that's actually builds more trust in the long run. That's right. If people feel like they're stuck when they talk to you, they're going to be less likely to talk to you the next time. But if they feel like it's easy to get out of a conversation with you, they're much more likely to get into a conversation with you next time. Now, how do you do this without getting overwhelmed? Well, you start by looking at others who are talking. Whenever two people talk and you're not even in the conversation, study their body language. Look at their feet, who's talking the most, and pretty soon you almost feel like you can read people's minds. Just practice reading the gauge. This understanding has given me just incredible self-confidence in conversations because I don't worry about boring people anymore. And I hope that it would be as helpful for you. If you're serious about improving your people skills and are tired of generic advice like just be yourself, that sounds good but makes things more confusing, join our training on the link below where I go much deeper into what I talked about here.